Yo.
Hi.
E3.
Hi.
Still. It's time we're going to talk about Nintendo because Nintendo was the last to go, and they announced a bunch of shit. We have Frank. Frank's back. Woo! Yeah. So, anyways, go ahead and run down the list. Then we're going to talk about a lot of shit. So Nintendo opened up with. They had a couple robot chicken kind of animation type things, and they were pretty hilarious. It was pretty much Nintendo making fun of themselves. It was really awesome. Then they had Reggie Fils-Aimé and who was it? Iwata, like the president or whatever. They were fighting each other, and it was hilarious and very dramatic. And then that pretty much went into they announced that you can use your Miis in the new Super Smash Brothers coming out. I'm not sure if it's for the 3DS version. I know it's for the Wii U version. But either way, that's pretty fucking awesome. So you can basically make whoever you want and put them in the game. So that's cool. They also announced that Smash Brothers is coming out October 3rd for the Nintendo 3DS. And they just said holiday 2014 for the Wii U. It's probably sometime in November. Then they transition into Amiibo, which Amiibo is a kind of like a toy line in ways, but it uses NPC technology or something. Basically, it's like a little figurine in ways kind of like a Disney Infinity or Skylanders, and basically you scan it in using the Wii U's gamepad, and then in certain games like Super Smash Brothers is going to be the first one to do it. If you had like a Mario, you'd put Mario on, and then Mario comes in the game. You can either fight him or he can help you, and then I think the coolest part is it's kind of like it's its own little AI is in it, so it learns, it grows. That's pretty fucking cool. Then they talked about Yoshi's Woolly World coming to the Wii U. Then they announced Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which I think is kind of like a DLC or something for Super Mario 3D World. Then they talked about probably the biggest game that they talked about was the new Legend of Zelda for the Wii U. No specific title, but they talked about, we'll get more into detail. They said 2015 for that. And they showed off Pokemon Omega Ruby, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. There's Mega Evolutions in the game, so I'm sure we have a lot to say about that. Those games come out November 21st. Then he's talking about Bayonetta 2, which if you buy Bayonetta 2, you get the original Bayonetta as well. That comes out in October. Hyrule Warriors. They talked about a bunch of playable Zelda characters, such as Princess Zelda and
Impa and
a whole bunch of people.
The one from the little pixie thing from Twilight Princess.
Yeah. That game comes out September 26th. Then they showed off Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Mario Maker. All those are coming to the Wii U in 2015. And the last big thing they kind of talked about was the game Splatoon, which is like an online multiplayer game with squids and ink. That's coming in 2015. Then they announced Lady Palutena is coming to Smash Brothers, a Kid Icarus character. And then they showed Miyamoto, probably the most legendary game developer of all time, working on something. And in the background, it was clearly Star Fox. And then they pretty much said Star Fox is coming to the Wii U, a brand new game in 2015. And also afterwards they announced Mario Party 10 is coming to the Wii U in 2015. And there's a game, I think it's coming out either this year or next year, called The Devil's Third, which is like some action shooter with swords. And it looks weird. But that's an exclusive coming to the Wii U. And they announced Fantasy something. It's made by Level 5, the people that made Ni no Kuni. That's coming to the 3DS. It's kind of like an RPG. So...
Alright.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
They announced a lot too.
In 45 minutes.
We're here to... And they're going to keep announcing stuff throughout all of E3. So they might even be announcing more.
Right
I think
now.
they will. So, yeah, but we're here to talk about our thoughts and digest everything that Nintendo showed off today. So, Sam, are you ready?
Keith can
You want to go or I can go?
Well, I guess I'll go.
Yeah, you go. Here.
Because of the natural order of things.
Don't pull the race.
Let's shut up. Now I can't.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there.
Let's start out with what I'm most excited for is probably the new Star Fox, even though they didn't show much for it, because I love Star Fox,
Yes.
and Star Fox loves me. As creepy as that sounds,
True.
it was meant to sound creepy. But I love Star Fox. Also excited for Pokemon, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire. I hope I got that right. Yeah, those were my favorite games on Game Boy Advance, period. Like, favorite games on Game Boy Advance, and now they're gonna update them to our new 3DS technology, and hopefully it works out well. I liked Pokemon X and Y, and those were good games, but I want to go back to Hoenn. What was that other weird thing that was only in Japanese?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
That Xenoblade Chronicles? Oh my gosh. It seems pretty epic, and I love epic storylines, and,
Seemed
Nintendo-
a little Final Fantasy-ish, but like futuristic, I don't know.
hey, don't say that Final Fantasy can't do future.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
It looks a little bit...
that's what it reminded me.
Yeah,
It was cool.
as an avid fan of Final Fantasy, I would have to agree that it did look a little bit Final Fantasy-ish, but, it'll be interesting how they go about the story, because, Xenoblade seems like something that they could definitely continue more than one game off of, but will
It's the follow-up to Xenoblade, I think Xenoblade, Chronicles on the Wii. And that was apparently an extremely good RPG.
Oh, I didn't play it.
And then there were some Xenoblade titles for the PlayStation 2. So
Yeah, okay.
there's a couple of Xenoblade games, but
I remember
I don't think there's a whole lot of them.
Okay,
So.
well, I'll
But
definitely...
I'm not sure about the story, if it's...
Yeah, I'll have to definitely go back and look at those games. I was just probably too busy playing Final Fantasy X. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
Queef, Sam, who's going?
Alright, I'll go.
Cock match.
It's a rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, rock, paper, scissors? Alright, hold on, two.
Alright, you go.
Alright, I'll go. Alright, so I'll go, and the stuff that kind of didn't really hit me too much, I'll kind of glance over. But the whole thing about having your Miis in Smash Bros. Was really cool. Just the fact that you can kind of make whatever character you want. They showed off some weird ones. Like, they showed off somebody making an iced tea character.
Elijah Wood wasn't there.
Elijah Wood, like they showed off like that you can do stuff like that, which is it's pretty cool that they're adding that kind of customization to the game. They showed off the amiibos, which is honestly like I was never at all interested in Skylanders or Disney Infinity or something like that, but this seems actually applicable because it's having a personal AI that is like your. If you went for Smash Bros, it's your partner in crime. You built this character to match or kind of go with your style or something, or however you want to do it. Like, it's cool, and if I get, well, I think because they said they want to eventually bring it to the 3DS. I get one. I get like a Samus one or a Donkey Kong one. It'd be cool. The Yoshi's Woolly World looks interesting. The art style's cool, and I mean, it seems like it's one of those games which I feel like is a lot of the games that Nintendo was talking about. It's one of those games where it'd be like, if I had a Wii U, yeah, this would be cool to have, but it's not like that game.
Not a system seller.
It's not a system seller. Neither is the Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Like, it looks cool, and I'm like, yeah, I'd probably play it, but it's like, I'm not going to go out and buy a Wii U just for this. Legend of Zelda, I like what they showed off with it. I mean, they basically saying that instead of having, like, sections where, like, you enter, like, a castle, you enter an area, it's all one open world, like in the original games, and the art style's cool. I mean, I like the hyper-realistic looking Zelda games like Twilight Princess and at the time, Ocarina of Time and things like that. But I mean, I like the different art styles that this game has. This one's a beautiful one. See, there was Hyrule Warriors, which I have a little bit more faith in that game after actually seeing a good bit of gameplay for it. The only thing is they said they showed off Link, Zelda, Impa, and the character from Twilight Princess. I just hope they throw in Sheik and from Ocarina of Time and Fierce Deity Link from Majora's Mask, because if they don't, then they're doing it wrong.
Well, Toon Link.
Or something like that. I mean, I'd be more okay with if they didn't do that, because that's more like a Smash Bros. Thing to bring in like an alternate form of Link, but like, I think that would be cool. Or like, I don't know, somehow you could, that'd be weird, like the Four Swords Link and have, that'd be kind of difficult to do, I don't know. Crap, yeah, like they said, they showed off Xenoblade, which, now that you brought it up, that was on the PS2, I think I might have played a little bit of one back in the day. I don't remember too much, but, I mean, it looks really good. It looks like an epic RPG. Bayonetta 2, I watched some people play the first Bayonetta, and it looks fun, and it looks really over the top, but it's like, I just don't know if that's my kind of game. I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, the cool thing is, apparently with the Wii U bundle, you get special DLC where you can dress up as, like, Zelda. Or, I mean, dress up as Link. Or Samus. Or, that's what they kind of showed off in the trailer a little bit, which is pretty cool. New Star Fox. I love Star Fox, so that's always nice. New Mario Party. Mario Party was one of my favorite titles on the GameCube and the N64. And then, the last thing, which is the last thing I'll spend a bit of time on, is that Splatoon, that looks really interesting to me. That, to me, is the game that Nintendo should have been making for the Wii U day one. It's supporting, the gamepad and all the things about the gamepad, and so there's innovation there. It's more of a family-oriented game, I can tell, because, I mean, it's a shooter, which is another good thing for it, but it's family-oriented, and it's not your standard game, like, at all. It just looks interesting enough where it would be cool. Again, I don't see this as a system seller, but I see this as that game that I could see literally almost every Wii U person getting, or at least they should, I think, because I think it looks that good. That was the game that impressed me, besides Zelda. That's probably the game that impressed me the most out of everything they showed off. So, yeah.
I got through a few Wii U games because I was watching a bunch of I was like multitasking. I was watching the actual thing on YouTube and then watching some of the 3DS and Wii U. What do you call them? Previews, I guess?
Yeah, trailers.
Yeah, trailer, that's what it is. As far as Wii U games go, Mario Maker looks okay. It's just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like that game should, I don't know why it seems like they waited this long to make that. It seems like it would have been a good idea like a while ago, but I don't know, it seems out of place to me a little bit. Another Yoshi game, Captain Toad looks kind of neat, but like he said, it looks cool, but it looks fun, but like I wouldn't buy a Wii U just for that. I would play if it was on the 3DS, but the Zelda game, it looks cool. Like Keith said, they're trying to expand on the playable area and stuff, and that was kind of the main message that I got across from it. Like, we're trying to make it, big and a lot of room to play and stuff, and it kind of got my interest, caught my interest a little bit. Splatoon seems it seems pretty new, kind of a new idea, pretty neat and everything. I don't know. I might play it. I wouldn't rule it out. It's one of those games I'd probably have to play to see if I would really like it because it seems like there's a little bit to it, not just as casual as other Nintendo games. It seems like there's something to it that might be kind of cool. Another Kirby game, and I say that I like Yoshi and Kirby just because it seems like there are more of those games. Like it's like another Mario game. It seems like, you know, I can say that about those kinds of games, at least to me. 3DS and I guess Wii U for both of them. Super Smash Bros. They showed that off. I don't know. It just doesn't look like it's for me. It looks cool, but for someone else. Now, 3DS games. Fantasy Life. It looks pretty intriguing. It seems like I was thinking at first elements of Animal Crossing, like they showed someone sewing and exploring around something. It seems something like Animal Crossing, like that customization a little bit and sort of everyday life, but mixed in with the exploration. It seems pretty cool. Maybe some action. It seemed very intriguing. I would probably play it. Mario versus Donkey Kong. It just looks kind of one-sided, and there wasn't much to it to me. You know, just guide your characters from like one place to like wherever they have to go to the exit of each level, and you can't let Donkey Kong kill them or something. It just seems like an online game that you play on addicting games, and it just seemed like I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. Not just because it's Mario, and you know there are a billion Mario games, but there are a billion Mario games that look better than this one. Sonic Boom looks kind of fun. It parts of it, I guess Sonic and whoever else his gang or whatever, they're like going really fast around this big loop. It reminded me of Mario Kart a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be the game. It's going to be like a Captain Toad or a Kirby game where it's just like one of those kind of adventure games, not 2D.
It's coming to the Wii U as well.
Yeah. One Piece Unlimited World. That game looked pretty cool. I'm a fan. And you can catch bugs and you can fish and you can battle bosses like they said or enemies. And it looks really really cool. And I would think it looks pretty intriguing, but even if I wasn't a fan of the show, I'd say it looks pretty cool. Pokemon Art Academy. It's basically learning how to draw on a 3DS. You know, I'd rather draw on paper or something. Just go out and buy a book and learn how to draw that way. Yeah, but I guess it's basically the whole thing is that they'll teach you how to draw, you know, different guys and whatever on guys and gals on the 3DS, which it looks kind of, you know, it just is what it is, and if it's not for you, it's kind of a hit and miss, I would say. Then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire look pretty cool. From what they showed, it looks, you know, graphically not like a leap forward from X and Y, because I just didn't see that. But apparently a lot of people were saying that they wanted a leap forward graphically. I think it looks right where it should and everything, and you know, it should be good. I have no doubts it'll be fun. The just overall stuff, they have the new, like these guys said, Amiibo or whatever, and I didn't hear too much about it, but from what it seems, it's like a memory card for individual characters that you can use in multiple games, and I don't know, it just seems kind of, I would have to see where it goes. I'm skeptical of it at first, because, I mean, if it kind of tanks out and they don't make games for it anymore, you know, you kind of just bought the little thing and you use it for like maybe 5 or 10 games, but if it actually works out, then that would be kind of cool. You know, it's just kind of one of those things I have to see where it goes, but it's a decent idea. I just feel like it's a memory card that you could contain multiple characters or something instead of just one. But, I mean, that's just... and then they had some junk, like Blast and Bunnies, I saw. That game, what you do in the game is you shoot bunnies. That just seems like something Bart Simpson would play in church, and it's just... I don't know. they had some stuff that was cool and it seemed fun, and they had some stuff that was a little above that, and some stuff that was good, and then they had a fair amount of junk or some junk. This game, Blast and Bunny, seemed like junk, but other games that I would say might be junk would just be games that I wouldn't be too interested in. But they averaged out to like an average performance, I would say, because a lot of stuff was very average, whereas the other consoles, EA and Ubisoft, or companies, whatever, had some bigger stuff. And I feel like Nintendo should have, got some of the titles, big titles that Xbox or PlayStation was showing off, and show them off for the Wii U. And I just don't know why they didn't do that. Like, show off Call of Duty for the Wii U.
That's the problem. They're not coming to the Wii U.
Yeah, but still, they should. They should be going to the Wii U, and they should be showing them off for the Wii U. This would be a perfect example, because a lot of people pay attention to Call of Duty, and that would bring in a lot of viewers to Nintendo and everything, just to see, this and that, or another big game that was announced. Far Cry 4, show that on the Wii U, and people would be interested in that, but they didn't have any spikes in the, interest. They had a few, here and there, but not like
Small bounce.
Enough of spikes that if I fell, it would kill me. Just a little prick.
It had just a tide, not a wave.
Yeah, like there's some things like the Pokemon game and One Piece, right, and Sonic Boom, and a couple of things they spiked a little bit, but just overall very average.
Yeah, I mean, I feel Nintendo played it. I felt they were aggressive, but they were playing it safe at the same time. If that makes any sense. Like, they could have went harder in the pit, but they, didn't want to get tired or something, Like, and I think the best example of why I feel that way is with the Legend of Zelda announcement. They announced it, and here's this huge thing, and it's them being kind of aggressive, announcing this such a huge title that's going to sell countless millions of systems for them, and they didn't really show that much off of it. Where if they would have showed off, 5 minutes of gameplay, everybody would have been losing their shit. So, that's why it was a good conference, and it was a good, show or whatever. But I felt a little bit disappointed because, there was those announcements, but I don't know. Just something was lacked ever so slightly to me. But Smash Brothers looks great, but in ways I'm getting tired of hearing about that game because, it seems like every day of every week you hear so-and-so is in Smash Brothers, this stage is in Smash Brothers. It's like they're kind of killing the hype. They're overhyping this game, and it's just like, I don't want to hear about it anymore. That's why at the end when they announced that new character from Kid Icarus, I was just so disappointed. I'm like, that's not how you end a show. You could have lumped that in the beginning and showed something else off. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me though. The Amiibo stuff it sounds very cool. I feel it can either make Nintendo a lot of money or tank. One of the two. So we'll just have to really see how that goes. Other things that really stood out to me, there's a couple games on here, like Yoshi's Woolly World, Captain Toad, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, that look fun, but yeah, like he said, they're not system sellers, and Yoshi just looks like a fucking warm cuddly blanket. That game, it looks interesting. But I think the things that stood out to me were The Legend of Zelda is probably the biggest thing. I've recently really started to get into Zelda, and I really love Zelda now. And, I just wanted to see more of that game, but I am extremely excited for it. What they did show off was good. I don't want to undermine that. It was awesome. The art style is absolutely gorgeous, and I feel the more open world will just completely help. It feels like they're kind of going off of a Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds starts you off, and it's like, boom, go wherever you want. Do whatever you want. Here you go. And I feel them doing that with the new Wii U game could be just as good. I am extremely stoked for the Pokemon games. I mean, I've wanted an Omega Ruby and Sapphire remake for a long time, and it just brought a smile on my face to see it in 3D. Some of the Mega Evolutions look pretty cool. I'm kind of with Sam. I don't really think Swampert's Mega Evolution looks that cool. I don't know. Just looks like a big ogre. But Sceptile, I wanted a Sceptile Mega Evolution. So that's pretty awesome. So that game those games are going to be fucking tits. Hyrule Warriors, looks better and better the more I see it. But I think probably the second game to me is Xenoblade Chronicles X. That game just looks like a very great RPG, and a lot of people are excited for it, including myself. I mean, the first time I saw it, I'm like, it looks cool, and then, it just looks better and better. That was supposed to come out this year, but they pushed it back to 2015. I feel that's going to be a big title for the Wii U, and I feel that could potentially sell a couple of systems for these really hardcore RPG people that are just like, yes. So, yeah. Mario Maker, I feel, should not be a Wii U exclusive. It should come out for the 3DS as well. I feel it would work really well on the 3DS and the Wii U. So, that's just me. And then Mario Party 10 could be fun to play with friends. And Star Fox. What?
Richard.
And then Star Fox is a huge bombshell. So, I mean, Nintendo seems to be going down this route of having two big titles per year. Like last year was Wind Waker HD and Super Mario 3D World. This year, Mario Kart 8, Smash Brothers. Next year, it looks like it'll be Zelda and Star Fox. So, that's pretty awesome. But there's two things that stood out to me. Is one, the lack of 3DS titles. I mean, and I feel Nintendo should have focused on the Wii U. That's where they need to put the majority of their focus, because, I mean, 3DS is just going to continue to sell, and they'll keep putting games out for it, but they needed to show off everything that was happening for the Wii U. But maybe just something else thrown in there. Because, I mean, after Pokemon, what the hell's coming out that's good for the 3DS?
Yeah,
Fantasy Life looks pretty good in One Piece.
Yeah, but I'm talking like big name game. You know what I mean?
like a large,
like they might be good games. I'm not gonna say that, but like that huge
biggest
game.
Titles. Sonic Boom, but that's not as big as as it could.
so it's not like
I just feel they should have showed off at least one big 2015 title for the 3DS, and then two, I feel they were actually trying to show off why the gamepad exists. A lot of games they talked about the gamepad and how you use the gamepad and how the gamepad is essential to the game, like Splatoon or something like that. And I think that's another thing that they really should have done, because a lot of people I read are like, I want a Wii U, but I don't want the gamepad. I don't know why I need the gamepad. Some of the biggest Nintendo games, like Donkey Kong, doesn't even use the gamepad. It's just a black screen. So it's like, why do I need this thing? So I feel they're starting to prove it a little bit more its use, and that's a good thing. Also, another thing, everything that they talked about is an exclusive. Fuck.
which comparatively to like what everybody else is doing, that's
to
a
the
lot.
Xbox or PS4, like in terms of exclusives, holy shit, that's a lot of exclusives, dude.
I think that's part of their problem, though, is that they don't branch out and get other titles onto their system.
And
It
Well, they
seems
have
like
Watch Dogs
Well,
and Watch Dogs.
That's like the only third-party title coming to the
it
Wii
just seems like Nintendo is relying way too much on itself, and it
but
doesn't
they kind of
want
have to.
but like
Because
it's-
what's going to sell the Wii U if Nintendo doesn't sell the Wii U? You know what I mean?
It just feels like that they are the only ones that care about their system. There aren't any other developers that care about their system, and
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft's about it.
But then Ubisoft's starting to give up on it too.
it
Well, I
just
mean,
feels
they're
like
putting out that Ghost Recon Phantom, which the only console it's coming out to is the Wii U, which it's out for the PC right now, but it's coming for the Wii U, and that's it.
the thing is, what really makes those other consoles like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One is successful is that Sony and Microsoft invest in indies. I don't see many indie games being released for Nintendo,
Sure.
which is something that I could see being really successful if Nintendo sought that.
True. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
Because that's how you discover good developers is promoting indie games.
yeah, and as great as Nintendo's games could be, they can put out as many as they want. But if they want the Wii U sales to really go up, they need third-party support, and it's kind of, there's literally nothing besides Watch Dogs. And, you know, I mean, they need some type of third-party support. And I'm not talking like, you know, I'm not talking
Call of
like
Duty.
Bayonetta 2 or something like that, where it's not made by Nintendo, but it's like partnered with Nintendo, so it's kind of like a second-party game. Like, I don't know, the Batmans, the Call of Duties, Assassin's Creed. I mean, Minecraft.
Why is that not out
Like
for the
what?
Wii U?
That just makes sense.
It seems
But-
like it would work better on the Nintendo console than any other console.
Yeah.
Because you get the gamepad, and that's your inventory and how you craft things.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but in my opinion, I mean, they did have some cool shit that they showed off.
definitely.
Certainly. Stuff that, you know, I'm excited about.
I was kind of wanting because I heard they were going to show off a new Adventure Time game, but they didn't. I was kind of looking for them to rebound from the last one that wasn't too great, but I guess no one showed that game. And then I think the thing that really hurt them this year was that they got caught in the wake of everything else. Like, after everything else was just out there, the day before you saw, like, The Order, you saw the Halo stuff, you saw Far Cry 4, and then pretty much anything Nintendo put out. Which I think the biggest thing that they had going for them was that Zelda game. Even though I've never played Zelda, the moment they talked about no boundaries and everything, that could have been their biggest thing, but it wasn't as big as it could have been.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have gone,
That's what I
like,
was saying.
where EA went and just screw EA because they can go the next day because it wasn't that great.
Yeah,
Nintendo has always gone the next day, though, but...
it seems like
Yeah.
everyone jizzes on the first day and then they can't jizz anymore on the second day or whatever.
They tried with it, it just hurts.
So, like, they
It
should
does.
go, well, maybe first. I don't know, that they'd be the first ones up there and talk about their stuff, then everything else goes, so they still would be thrown into the mix, like, you would watch them with everyone else.
I mean, I think it would help if they would actually do a conference, like they used to.
Like I get the Nintendo Direct is like, yes, this is our thing, but it's like, you know, E3's kind of, even if you're just watching E3, you know, you're probably like, oh, okay, somebody else is on. You might not even care about EA, but it's like, oh, EA is on, I'll watch that. Whereas you have to go out of your way to watch Nintendo.
And I get that, you know, E3 cost a lot of money to put on something like that. But I think it's just, you know, you watch Sony's or Microsoft's or something, and they announce a big game, and then all of a sudden the crowd's like, woo! And you know, it's just that feeling of, you know, it adds to it. It makes you feel more. And, you know, I feel that's just, for them to get people even more excited, that's just, you know, they just gotta bite the bullet and do it, you know?
Like, the robot chicken stuff was slightly funny,
Yeah, it was,
but it was no, like, it didn't cover up enough, like, the margin that was left between them doing it, like, a conference and then the direct thing.
and they used to have really cool conferences and really awesome announcements. Because I remember watching it when they announced, like, Twilight Princess, and that was, like, big shit, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. Or I remember that, you guys remember that Wii Music game? They had some huge fucking announcement for that, and it was like, I mean, the game might not have been great, but it was like, you know, it got you really interested and you know, hyped up for it, because it was just, I don't know, just something about an actual conference. But alright, last question.
Okay.
Did Nintendo do enough to make you want to get a Wii U?
I'm still
Yes or
missing.
no?
I'm still
Want. Yes.
need no. I'm still missing that one game. Like, I feel like, and you know, it's cool that they have like the 2 big games that come out each year, but like they're letting all the momentum from the previous one come out. Where if they were like, hey, you know, all like fall of 2014, you're getting, or fall/holiday season 2014, you're getting new Zelda, Smash Bros, Mario Party 10, and it's like,
But then, it makes sense. I know what you're saying, but right now, they can't do that, because if they blow their load all at once, what do they have the next year when they're the only ones that's making games for their system?
true, or they just need that one game that just like.
Plus, it gives each game its own spotlight,
So maybe,
where a game might get lost in the mix.
yeah, okay, I get that, but maybe like they just need that one game where it's like maybe, you know, I'm really excited for Star Fox. Maybe new Star Fox would just be awesome, or the new Zelda. If they could, you know, that might be enough. But like they just need something big to catch my attention.
Metroid.
Yeah.
That would be a good title to bring up again.
Exactly. F-Zero. With Captain Falcon. Fuck yeah. Or, I don't know.
Or here's an idea. Indie developers.
Yeah, or,
Fucking work for the Wii. I mean, make it, help it float, help it thrive. If you want to make money, get a hit on the Wii, because they need it.
yeah.
Sam,
What?
You guys' opinions?
did Nintendo do enough to get you to want to get a Wii U?
They actually kind of they brought it down a bit. 'Cause, like the games like Sonic Boom and the Kirby game and like you know that lump of games with Yoshi and Captain Toad, they all seem like fun, but they're all kind of, I don't want to say the same game, but they're all just kind of there. And like Keith said, there's nothing like at the top of the tower that I would get that game, and then there were some other reasons down there to, you know, have the Wii and play some of these other games and wait for the next big title to come out. It's just a lot of stuff down there that seems okay, but this year I felt like a lot of those games, I've already seen a Yoshi game, I've already seen this game and that game, and they have like 100 fucking Smash Brothers, and they already have other Mario Party games, and there's nothing new. And there's some things like that seem kind of interesting that I might play. It still seems like I wouldn't play Kirby and then play Yoshi's whatever world and then play Captain Toad. I feel like I couldn't play those games one after another, so it's just kind of like I need a little bit of room, you know, to like go play this game, and then I don't want that same experience again after I play this game, and then the same experience. I kind of want this experience and then go over to like a different experience. Like I would play Watch Dogs or something, and I would play Yoshi's, you know, Woolly World, and then I would play Kirby, and that's kind of like Yoshi's Woolly World, and I would play another game like that, and it's just all, I have nothing to go back to like Watch Dogs, or go elsewhere like Abzu, the new game that was announced, that would be kind of cool, or anything in a different direction. All it feels like it's lumped there, and it kind of gives me less of a reason, because even if I would buy those games, it you know, like he said, there's the big title, and then they aren't supportive enough anymore, just because it seems like the support's all just kind of drowning in itself.
Do I want a Wii U? Yes. Would I get one right now? I'm not sure. To me, honestly, they have to drop the price a little bit, like another $50 or something, and then because I feel also the Wii U. I read a quote today, and to me it's rings true. Is that the Wii U is getting harder and harder to ignore. Like you can't just put the Wii U aside, because its library of games is getting greater and greater. And there's a lot of games on the Wii U that I would play, but yeah. But like drop the price just a little bit, impossibly, because one, I there's a lot of cool games, and two, I really want to play Mario Kart 8. Yeah. That game looks awesome. Anyone's thoughts?
Not really.
They should have gone yesterday.
I'm praying for you,
Yeah.
Nintendo.
My cat's
Please.
probably going to take the 5th shit.
During this video.
Yeah.
Blaze.
Okay, thanks, bye.
You blew it.
Blaze.